Today is a day for celebration. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise yet, but I've got a new set of headphones. I have been really wanting to try a set of headphones from this brand for a long time. And it's another one of those things that, like, I never thought I would spend this much on a set of headphones, but I just couldn't help myself. Just couldn't help myself. Did you see? Did you see that? Do you see what that says? It says ZMF. Now, of course, I bought these used, like I do everything. Let's hope they're in good shape. Oh man, these things are chunky. Look at those. ZMF Aeolus in, what is it, saplewood? Saple? Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Let's try them on. Oh man, they feel good. They feel real good. Well, they're used, so I mean, there's not a lot to say about the opening here, but I can't wait to get them tried out and check that out. Like a wooden owner's card. Kind of cool. Yeah, I can't wait to try these babies out. So I just wanted to share the opening with you. I'm excited about it. I'm going to start listening to these bad boys. All right. I will come back and talk to you after I've had a chance to listen to them. All right, so it's been a couple of weeks since I did that unboxing, so I've had a good opportunity to, you know, put the Aeolus through its paces and listen to them in a variety of circumstances, through a variety of gear, and also compare them to a couple of other well-regarded headphones, because I've had the Clear Pros on hand, and I had my HE6 too. So I feel like I'm qualified now to give some impressions on this wonderful headphone. So yeah, it's just a really solid, just chill, enjoyable, kickback, mellow headphone. Just man, it's hard to imagine there being much else out there that beats it for that. Now, of course, this is the most expensive headphone I've tried, so there's lots of headphones that I still haven't tried that are near this price and above this price, but as far as what I've tried, just a wonderfully chill headphone. And of course, it's beautifully made. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll talk in more detail about the sound. I mean, you know, if you're watching this video at this point, like, you've heard of ZMF, I'm sure, and you know what they're about. And they're about beautiful wood, handcrafted design. They're about metal and leather and just craftsmanship, right? Like, this headphone has, like, when I was thinking about this headphone and thinking about how to describe it, I really feel like it's a timeless design, and even sound is kind of how I think about it, because it's like this headphone, you know, you look at it and it could have been made, you know, I feel like if you go back, say you were able to travel back in time to like the 70s and you pulled one of these out and showed somebody, I don't feel like they'd be like, well, how did that even happen? Like, they wouldn't be like that. I mean, it's all well done and well finished and things like that, but it's not like it's some space age design. You know, it's a classy design that I feel like is just going to always be good, you know? And I don't feel like it's a headphone where it's like in photos and in this video, like, I don't know how well it's going to translate here, right? Like, how all these little details and the finishes are gonna come through, but it all just feels just really, really nice. And not over the top at all, you know? Like, I mean, they're huge headphones, obviously, but they're like, you know, as far as design goes, they're not extreme. Like, it's just a classy design. And, you know, thinking about like what it comes with, you saw the big case, right? And here's the connectors. It's got, okay, so it's dual XLR, but like look at this connector, right? This 1/4 inch. Like, tell me that couldn't be at home like in the 70s on like a hi-fi system with, you know, a vinyl setup. It just looks like that, and that also too stems from this kind of 4-wire flat cable, like ribbon cable here. And I don't think they come with these anymore, but you know, just as far as like my, you know, just my impression getting it and stuff, that's what's in my head, is like that cable could have came out of the 70s, you know, in a good way, right? Mine also came with XLR balanced cable, 4-pin, same, you know, flat kind of ribbon style. They're both about like 5 feet long. I mean, they're not my favorite cables in the world, but at the same time, they function well, and they, you know, I haven't had any issues with them. I do have a heart system coming, and that's mainly because I've been really enjoying using it with my my X-Can, and currently I'm using this big crazy adapter, right? Like, which doesn't make this very practical at all. So, I mean, I've got a heart system coming for it, which should help out with that, and we'll talk more about the X-Can here shortly. But I did want you to see those cables as I was talking about kind of the design of it and things like that. Now, what else about the design? You know, it's, so you've got this big fully articulating, you know, cups and pads, which is cool. I like that because you can lay it flat, and I always appreciate being able to do that. You've got how the cups attach to the yokes here is very Odyssey-like in its design, and then it's got, you know, this kind of metal bar with adjustments on it, and then you can lock it into place with a little screw here, or you can tighten it to where it'll slide, you know, more or less difficult. So you can either like lock it in place for adjustment, or you can leave it so it can be moved a little bit, which is cool. Metal grills here, right? Like a really sweet metal grill design. And you know, the headband is metal covered in like a nice padded leather, and then you've got the suspension strap under that as well. Everything is held together. You know, if you're looking at the build, it's all held together with like Allen bolts and, you know, screws and things that make me feel like I could take something off of this headphone and replace it, and I feel like I can do that no problems. You know what I mean? Not that I've opened it up, but I feel like I could. Obviously, it's got huge cushy pads on it, and I know that there's a lot of tuning that can be done with the pads. I only have these kind of, mine are like micro, like fiber perforated pads here, and I'm not sure which ones those are in the ZMF, you know, lineup. I mean, I'm sure at some point in the future that I will get into trying out some different pads and things on these. Seems like a natural thing to do. But as far as, you know, just if you don't have any experiment with ZMF, if you don't have any experience with ZMF pads, just know they're big and cushy and like pillows on your head. You know, they're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pads. And they have all sorts of different styles that like I said, I'm sure I'll play with in the future. As far as comfort goes, you know, I mean, it's a big, heavy headphone, no doubt about that. But just the way between the pads and the suspension strap and the adjustments and all that, like, I really don't mind it at all. I think it's very comfortable. I've gone several hours wearing these without issue. especially once you get it dialed in to fit your head correctly. So I'm super pleased with it. I mean, obviously, you know, if you're like out in public and things like that, or working in an office or something, it's gonna draw some attention, because I mean, it's a big headphone, and obviously the wood and stuff, it looks, I mean, you see what it looks like, right? But I love it. I mean, I think it's awesome. It feels wonderful to wear. There is, I would say, like a slight bit of isolation, so they're not super open sounding, definitely not as open as something like the Clear were, or my HE6, not that open. It's maybe more like the NIghthawks in that regard, in that there is a bit of isolation between you and the outside world. Yeah, so how do they sound? They're chill, dude. They're very chill, but very detailed. Reasonably wide sound stage. Is just everything just sounds, it's all there, it's all present, but it all just feels so relaxed. Like, it's still detailed, still present, still nice space, you know. The bass response is good texture, it goes low, it goes deep, good a bit of sub bass, and just it's all there, but none of it is offensive, none of it is forward, none of it is sharp, none of it is intense. Like, this is not an intense headphone by any means. It's very much relaxed, laid back, you know, enjoy the music, you know, you like let the music come to you type of a thing, as opposed to like being forced on you. And you know, that just makes it so suitable for so many use cases, I feel like, because you can have this on and just be kind of like chilling and have good music playing, and you don't have to give it your full attention, but at the same time it's got enough detail that if you want to sit down and like critically listen, it's like, it sounds great. So one thing that I was a little bit surprised with the Aeolus is how well it plays with most gear. I mean, you know, a lot of people say tubes with these, and I do like it on tubes. I mean, I use it on my Valhalla 2, and I would pick probably the Valhalla 2 currently. I mean, I'm still tube rolling with it and stuff like that, and I don't have a ton on hand right now, but like I've got some Gold Lions in there now, and I feel like that's a pretty good match with these. Again, detailed but relaxed type of a thing going on there. So I do like them with tubes, but I mean, it plays super well with the Singzer too, and I'd be very happy if that's just what I had. But I mean, probably preference-wise between those two, I'd take the Valhalla 2. But what really shocked me was how well it plays with my X-Can here. And you know, I got a review out for this guy, and I do like this thing just as far as like a great portable option. Obviously, this adapter makes it a little less portable, but Bluetooth portable option, I really like this, and that's why I'm getting the Heart system, because I've primarily been using it with this, where I'm not at my desk. When I'm at my desk, I'm usually using my HE6 at this point in time. But I mean, the Aeolus sounded good off of all those things I mentioned, plus it sounded good off of just like a full of 4. I thought it sounded really good off of too. Now, I did try it off of just like the Apple dongle just to see, and that was pretty much a no-go. And also I got the Dragonfly black on hand too, and I tried that, and I also didn't think this really quite made the cut for it. So it needs a little bit of power, but not extreme. Definitely not extreme. And for anything that could just like get it up to being powered, I thought it sounded good off of all of it. And I found one thing that I found was really interesting with this is that, you know, I like to listen with my X-Can, and I didn't think the Clears did real well off the X-Can, but the Aeolus does. And then when I came down and switched to my desktop setup, I was surprised in that there was more of a jump with the Clear to the desktop stuff, which is Bifrost 2, Singzer, Valhalla, than the Aeolus. So while the Aeolus does have, you know, some improvements that come with that better gear, it's not it's not huge, I wouldn't say. And this is, and that's where I feel like this headphone maybe comes in and has something a little bit special to offer, because you get just wonderful sound out of most things. So like, if you're someone that has, you know, a decent just DAC amp, you know, element full of, probably like a K5 Pro, or you know, like a stack, like an Atom stack, or you know, like a regular Modi Magni stack stuff, I think you could get this headphone and like you're gonna be still impressed, right? It's not like you're gonna be missing out on a ton. Whereas some headphones like the HE6, you know, really needs the right synergy and things to really sound great. These sound great off of just about everything, which is awesome, and makes it, I think, an alluring choice, because you could get this and it'll sound good as is, probably with whatever you've got on hand, but then you can do some upgrading and stuff too. Whereas with some headphones, you know, it's like you really got to get all the gear before it's gonna really work. Again, like the HE6. So as far as like this thing goes, I mean, outside of it being super large, I feel like this is like a legit do-it-all headphone, you know. Wonderful for music, obviously, for both analytical and just laid back listening. I gamed with it a little bit and thought it did a pretty decent job of that. Not that this would be my recommendation for gaming, but I mean, it works for it. You know, movies, it's going to work good for that too. Portable, like I said, if you've got the right portable amp, yeah, you can do it. Again, not that I would like walk around town with these on, but I mean, for around the house, you know, sticking my X-Can in my pocket and doing the dishes and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been doing that. Again, you know, my wife might give me funny looks and stuff, but she's used to it by now though. So yeah, man, I just love it. And you know, the soundstage is not huge. I don't feel like it presents space as well as the HE6 does. It's not as fast as the HE6. And so I feel like the HE6 is a little more of a committed listen, you know, and if you've got the gear and you're willing to sit down and really, you know, give a focused listen, I'd probably take the HE6 over this, right? But as far as just like the everyday grab it, listen, in lots of different situations, wonderful. Again, probably the weakest point compared to the HE6 is the spatial presentation, and it's a bit slower, I would say. But I mean, there's just kind of a lushness to the Aeolus that just, you kind of forgive a lot of that stuff, and it still builds a very cohesive sound around you, not just in your head, but kind of, you know, around you. Again, maybe not to the same extent that the HE6 does, but definitely better than the Clears, though, I would say. The Clears I found to be a very analytical headphone that was much more like you were sitting back, like looking at a picture and analyzing a picture of the music, where the HE6 is like you can imagine yourself in it. I feel like the Aeolus kind of strikes a bit of a balance between the two, in that it's not quite like you're there like the HE6, but you're more involved than with the Clears, or at least you're more into the music than with the Clears. At least that's what my impression is for it. The timbre on these is a huge selling point. They sound just so amazingly natural, with vocals and cellos and strings and treble. It all just, it sounds effortless, right? Like it doesn't sound, I'm not like, oh yeah, this sounds like a headphone. I'm like, wow, this sounds legit, like when I'm listening to it. And I think that's where, you know, I really love this, because I can put it on anything for the most part that I've got, and I can just listen to music, and I don't nitpick. I don't nitpick the music. I'm just going, I just don't have any issues with it. I just listen and enjoy, and it sounds wonderful, and I don't question it. I'm just like, yep, that's good music, and I'm enjoying myself. And that's really like what it comes down to it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, so this is just a chill, enjoy yourself, don't think too hard about it type of a headphone, which I think is a very wonderful thing. I feel like this headphone is super easy to recommend. I cannot imagine somebody getting this headphone and not liking it. I mean, maybe if you're looking for a very specific application, this might not quite suit that, but as far as like not liking it, I can't see that. I can't see that at all. If you've been wondering about Aeolus like I was, or wondering about ZMF like I was for a long time, I think, you know, you're not going to be disappointed with it. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to try any other ZMF headphones, but, you know, this one sounded like it would fit the bill, and if you're looking for a headphone that isn't just like slamming you with detail, and you want something that just you can kind of chill and listen and you know, sit back and enjoy and not think too hard, this is it. This is it if you've got the money, for sure. So yeah, wonderful headphone, beautiful headphone. And this has, so for me, this headphone is in my main rotation now. I'm not going to sell it, not right now anyway. I mean, who knows down the road, but it is displacing the Edition XX. So previously the Edition XX was kind of my go-to, like not at my desk, be able to kick back and enjoy music headphone, but this is taking its place. So that means I like it. That means I like it a lot. Questions, comments, anything else I missed that you want to know about, you know, drop those all in the comments below. This headphone, again, it's a jack of all trades. It's just a good all around chill, fun, wonderful, well-made headphone. Full recommendation. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. I will see you in the next one.